well-being. And we're going to start today's practice on the mat. So come down and those of you who want to do a little bit more warming up for this, I'm going to do a redo actually of the asymmetrical legs that I did kind of a lot earlier when I first moved here to New Mexico. And I think that was one of my first videos. So I'm redoing that, maybe adding a little bit more into it. And if you'd like to join me in the headstand at the end, you'll maybe need a little bit of a blanket, or you can just fold over partly your mat, maybe just to give the base, the head, a little bit more cushion. Okay, and we'll get started. So those of you who want a little bit more warm up, I would just suggest doing a little bit more sun salutations. I'm going to do a few, but really not that many. I'm trying to keep the video kind of shorter. So please help yourself. You can pause this recording and go ahead and invite yourself into a little bit more heat, and we'll get started. So we'll start first with sitting. You can sit any way you'd like. I have my toes tucked, kind of wake up the feet, wake up the fascia of the feet, and relax your shoulders, lengthen up the spine, and just grow nice and tall through your spine. Take a nice deep breath in. Fill up and expand your chest, breathe into your lower ribs. Exhale and sink into your legs and your feet. Invite yourself a little bit deeper into your mat, into your practice, into your day. Every time you exhale, land a little bit deeper into yourself. Maybe past any agitation or any restlessness you might feel. And on the other side of that coin, maybe past any sort of fatigue or kind of listlessness. Maybe you feel dull, less energetic. Can you land a little bit deeper past that, past any sort of physical state or any mental state? Land deep in your silence right at the center of your being. And in the center of every storm, there is a reservoir of stillness, of peace, of being free. Soften your eyes, soften the muscles of your face, and grow an inward smile through your chest, through your face. Maybe the corners of your mouth turn up just that little bit. And that just really brings a whole message of softening. Being a little bit more at ease in your body. And this is where we'll start. Take a nice deep inhale. Fill up the low ribs, and then exhale, take a little bow into your practice. Offer your practice here any words of support or dedication, or maybe an intention. And let's breathe into that intention. Breathe into those words. It could just be simple, word of gratitude. And as you exhale, feel that intention, those words in. And we'll begin. Let's open the eyes. So this is another sequence that I learned from Ramaswamy and the Vinyakrama. So we start as usual here at the base of support at the heart center, which is known as the Pranasana. So it is the home of prana, right? That deeper kind of energy, that vital energy that starts everything, that everything begins with. But it's also the home of the deepest sense of self. And it's the abode of source, whatever your requirement is of that name or image. All right. So we start here, and we're going to come standing. And again, the chin drops down towards the chest lifts towards the chin. I know my It's going to be a little cut off, but most of the sequence is going to be rather down. So I wanted you to have a nice view of the mat and everything going on here. So we'll just start with a simple sequence. Let's take an inhale, draw your chin down towards the chest, but lift your chest towards the chin and drop your tailbone like an anchor. Wake up your leg and firm your quads and inhale. Rise the arms up, interlace the palms and stretch in both directions. Push down into your feet. Inhale here. Exhale, and we just twist to the right. So as we twist the upper body, the rib cage, and the chest to the right, we send a little bit more of a counter twist with the lower body, lower abdomen, hips, and legs twist ever so slightly to the left. To increase that feeling of a twist, and let's inhale, reach up into the arms. You can look up and exhale, and we turn back to center. Nice big bright inhale here. Push down into the feet, engage your legs and lift up to the arms. Exhale, and we turn to the left. Ever so slightly, there's a counter twist in the lower body to the right. And then we pick up the chest, go up into the arms, down into the feet. Maybe look up and then exhale and turn towards the center. Inhale, just lower your arms out nice and wide. Exhale, and we twist. Bring a counter twist in. Inhale, and we come back to center. Exhale, we counter twist to the left. Inhale, come center. Exhale, and we fold in, keeping the arms out nice and wide like an airplane. Good. Bring your weight a little bit more forward into your toes. Lift your tailbone up. Really draw your chest into your thighs as close as you can by using the belly. Really turn on and plug the navel back. And then inhale here and sit yourself down into the lowest squat you can go in. And slowly, let's come back to that forward fold. Inhaling, straightening the legs as much as you can, and then exhale, closing in. Rise up, big breath in. Reach the arms up, pull up, and then exhale. We're going to take reverse prayer, Pushpanjali, so Anjali Mudra on the back. So if you can't do that, you can bring the fists together. And then inhale, use the edges of your hands to push against your shoulder blades and lift your chest. So we bring the shoulder blades together on the back. And breathe into the chest. The eye of your heart opens wide. And then exhale, straighten out. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, and we take this twist to the right. Inhale, come center. Exhale, we take this twist to the left. Remember that counter twist in the lower body. Inhale, come center. Exhale, and we take a fold in. Good. Inhale, and we try to go down into that really low squat, or the lowest squat that we can handle with this position of the arm. It's going to be a little bit more treacherous. You have to keep a little bit more of the body weight forward. You probably have to grip your toes a lot to balance the weight. Going back. Stay wherever you are. Take an inhale. And then exhale, pour your chest down over your legs. Drop your head. Release the hands. Inhale, a halfway lift, so extend the spine long, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, and then go down into your squat, just to take your legs back. And you'll lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Good. Plug your pelvis down. Extend your arms long, and we take that Pranams, giving pranams to whatever we conceive our source to be. Lengthen the legs back, lengthen through the arms. Good, and then we just reposition the hands right under the shoulder heads. Tuck the toes. We're going to fire up the quads and the belly and pick up chaturanga. Pick up more through plank, keeping the belly really firming against the spine. And then hips up and back and take your down dog. Stay here in down dog and just feel a sense of balance. Balancing your weight forward and back. Engage your outer upper arms. And heavy your inner palms as you lift your hips high and push your body back with the strength of your arms. Opening your shoulders, getting a little bit more soft into the tissues of the backs of the legs and the feet and along the spine. Just breathing, opening up all of those kind of sticky spots. Good, lowering the heels as much as you can. Get the most out of the stretch. Good, inhale. And exhale, and lift your heels nice and high. Press with your arms to get your feet to go back. And then step, hop, or walk up to your hands. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, press all the air out as you fold into your legs. Let's rise up, inhale. And exhale, palms to the heart. Drop your chin down towards your chest, lift your chest up. Sink your tailbone down towards your heels. Good, you feel that little resist in the low belly. Inhale, pull up. Exhale, and we take it down. Fold into your legs. Come into the lowest squat that you can. Bring your body weight forward to stay balanced. Push into your palms to jump the way back and lower yourself to the floor. Pranams for one breath. Preparing the arms, the shoulders, the legs, and the belly for that lift into chaturanga. Exhale, pull off the floor. Inhale. Exhale, push into that plank pose, keeping the belly really firm against the back. And then lift those hips up and go back. Downward facing. Inhaling. And exhaling. Really spread your fingers here. Lift the feet high. Exhale. Take the heels down. One more breath. Beautiful. Inhale into a plank. This time we're going to lower, coming through chaturanga, or it could be knee down chaturanga, by the way. And then we're going to inhale into a cobra or an up dog if you want to make it a little bit more intense as a back bend. But use the press of your palms more to pick up your chest. Float your chest up. Maybe your gaze lifts. Stay strong in your legs, and let's go up and back and find that down dog. Big breath in. Slow motion, exhale out. And that ujjayi sound, if you like, add that into your practice. That little slight whisper in the back of your throat. It's a soft sound to your practice. Also helps support the spine. And keeps the abdominals active. All right, let's come through. Inhale here, plank. Maybe the knees tap down. Go long as you exhale, keep resisting the floor. Inhale into your cobra or your up dog. Exhale and roll it back downward, facing dog, hips up and back. And your palms are nice and firm. You get a little bit more opening in your shoulders and your armpits. Maybe the head can start to come towards the floor. You're not forcing anything. Keep the hips lifting up and back at the same time the head drops down. Good. One more breath in down dog. Good. And we're going to jump through into a Virasana. So the right leg is going to go forward and the left leg is going to fold underneath us. And it's going to look like this. Okay. So we're in that Virasana. And again, this sequence is all about the joints of the lower body. And I do this in my own personal practice at least once a week. I try to, and it just keeps the lower joints a lot more supple. But if you have any degree of difficulty with this, you can always use blankets under the seat to lift the seat up and have that elevation. And as we get into half lotus, you can always stick with figure 4. So we start here. We use the arms, interlock, and lift up. Inhale. The chin is down to lengthen out the neck. Exhale, firm your seat down. Inhale here and exhale, and we fold in. Big breath. Lengthen out your exhale. Try to really slow it down. And then we pull into the arms to come up to really push down into the legs. Lifting up. Inhale here. And we start to turn to the left. And then inhale, we pull up just like we did from standing. Look up to your hands. There's a little bit of a back bend in your upper back. Exhale, maybe turn a little bit more to the left, squeezing in. And then one more inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, stay looking towards the left, and we're going to reach long, taking a lateral fold over our right leg. So try to really lengthen the whole right side waist forward. Last exhale, slow motion exhale. We're going to climb up on this inhale, reach through the arms, press through the legs to come up. And then we take the counter pose, reaching the hands back. Fingertips can turn back or forward. And we're just going to squeeze the hips up, press the right toes forward. Maybe they reach the floor. Lift through the chest. Squeeze your arm bones in. And then reverse, coming down nice and slow. Okay, and this time we're going to step into the left foot and lift the left knee. So different posture, Martyasana, right? So we hold opposite elbows, or you can just hug the leg in. Grow nice and tall through your spine. Good, chin is down, gaze is soft. Take another breath like that, preparing. Come a little bit more forward in your seat. Exhale here. And then interlock the hands, reach up. Exhale and come forward. Hinging out the hips, reaching towards the foot or the leg. Holding on. And as you exhale, maybe pull yourself a little bit deeper into that fold. Good. Let's hold on with the right hand and reach your left arm way forward, and then turn the thumb down. Find that internal rotation of that left shoulder and reach back with your left hand. The palm faces up and wrap it all the way around. See if you can grab the wrist of your right hand. Loosen up your arms a little bit. Let them kind of slide up your left shin and then turn your chest towards the right. Work the peripheral vision of your right eye. Your chin floats over your right shoulder. Good. And breathe against the compression in your belly. Let you really distribute that oxygenated blood throughout all the tissues, your organs, the deeper abdomen. And use the exhale. Nice, everybody. And then inhale and come forward. We're going to keep the bind. And again, take that forward fold coming forward. And if you don't have the full bind, take a half a bind or just go back to the first modification. And reaching your chin towards your chin. And then inhaling to come up. Nice. And then undo that. Undo the wraps of the legs. Bring the hands back for that counter pose and lift the hips. Squeeze up. Lower the toes down. You can spread them wide and stretch them out to lower. Lifting the center eye of your heart up. Stamp your left foot down. And then slowly come down. Beautiful. Okay, so just bring your body weight forward. You're going to reach the right arm forward. Keep your left palm pressing down. And you're going to come forward and lift yourself up if you can, reaching for your right toes. But don't use your hands to hold. We're going to try and go through this pose, bringing your weight more and more forward. And maybe you need to use your hands, maybe you don't. Flip the right leg back and come into this standing split. Lowering the chest down the forward leg. Bringing your weight a little forward into your left toes. Point strongly through your right leg. And then we're going to reverse coming out of that. It's like a pistol squat, but we're moving in and out of it, creating a little bit more suppleness through the hips. Nice, and strengthening as well. So let's lower the left knee out to the side. The sole of the left foot is against the inner right thigh. Inhale, and we're going to press into the left hand and sweep the right arm up, lifting the hips, squeezing from behind. Use all the spinal muscles. Use your glute muscles and open out, sweep out with your right arm. And we exhale and reverse it down. We go to the opposite side. We pop up on the left toes. Keep your left heel lifted. Press now into your right palm and sweep up. And taking, just more of a side bend, but really starting to work it more open if you have that availability. And slowly come down. Beautiful. And then we're just going to pick up the left leg and just step the left foot over the right leg and try to keep the whole right foot planted, pressing down. Hug your left knee with your right arm and walk your left fingertips behind you. And just a simple twist here, turning again your head to look out over your left shoulder if that feels okay for your neck. Otherwise, look straight ahead or even look forward. Good. And then to go a little deeper in this twist, we don't have to. We scoop the belly, we lean back, and then we hug the belly in and up towards the rib cage and get a little closer into the outside of that left leg with our right shoulder, and then maybe hold on to your left foot with your right fingers. Good. Again, use your left fingers to turn. So it's a little bit stronger of a twist. Stay with it, and again, breathe into that compression. Good. Feel that massage of all of your inner organs, the abdominal cavity. Breathe out against your lung tissue. Good. And then slowly come forward. We're going to keep the cross of the leg just in this figure 4 position now. Lean back on your hands, and we're just going to bend the right knee. So we're going to tuck this in, get a little tighter if you can. You can walk your sit bones in towards your right heel and really compact and compress this pose. So I like to take my right arm right into the arch of my left foot. Come forward with your body weight, right? Otherwise, you're going to fall back. You come forward with your body weight. Good. And then maybe you wrap with your left hand and interlock the hands. Stay here, soften your shoulders down. Slow motion exhale, really get into that exhale. Really try to lengthen. Push your foot actively into your arm to help you to stabilize this pose. And then we're going to go into a toe version of this, waking up the right foot into the right toes and the right arch. We're going to keep that figure 4, and we're going to balance, hug up, squeeze up from your pelvic floor base, fire up your belly, and keep your gaze nice and soft. Take the palms down. We're going to just straighten the right leg, come into a fold. And stay with that figure 4, but now there's an option to come up and work more into that lotus pose, that half lotus pose now. Now lift the leg away from you a little bit. Bring the heel up as high as you can on your right hip and lower the left knee away from you. Stand up nice and tall. You can take a half bind, reach around. Right arm reaches up, lengthen. And exhale, and we fold in. Bring your chest toward your leg. Good, and now we're going to do this horse face pose. I used to call it horse pose, and then I learned it's called horse face, so sorry about that. Step into your right foot. Again, keep your half lotus if you can, and come up. This is the harder side for me. So the left leg is in half lotus. So the left arm is going to go under the right arm, and we come into eagle arms for an inhale, lifting up the elbow tips. Squeeze the legs in towards one another as the arms come down and you fold in. Good. So we use the press of the left hand to let that left leg come down, but it's still in half lotus, and your right knee is still lifted. And again, option here to take any modification. Inhale, reach on the inside of your right leg. And then again, we're going to find that internal rotation, this time with the right arm. Reach back, wrap your arm around your right leg, and then reach your left arm behind. See if you can grab it. Exhale, and you fold. Nice. Feeling like a pretzel yet? And then now we're going to take this right leg into our Virasana. Okay, and we're going to keep this lotus leg. Okay, squeeze the thighs in. And then we turn into the twist first. This is one of my favorite twists called Virasana. So we twist towards the left, towards your lotus leg or your figure 4 leg or whatever you're doing with that leg. You can anchor your right fingers underneath the weight of your leg and walk your left fingertips behind you. Turn your gaze. And then the best part of this pose is turning your head over your right shoulder now. So we take a counter position, a counter twist with the neck, the cervical spine. And then you release and you just feel that beautiful curve open up on the left side of your neck. And just breathe into that space. That feels delicious. All right, we're just gonna let the right leg go. So we're in that half lotus still. And again, any version that you'd like to do for that leg. And we're going to inhale here. And exhale. And reach for your right leg or your right foot, taking that forward fold. Every exhale, you want to pull your chest away from your hips, kind of wriggle yourself longer over your right leg. Again, can you breathe into the bottom of your ribs? Beautiful. You might hold, reach around and hold that foot. And then we're going to try a lift into a side plank variation with this half lotus leg. So you push down into your right palm, you wake up your right leg and you lift up. And slowly lower down. Nice job, everybody. Keep the half lotus almost over. And then press back into your hands, lift your chest and lift your feet up. Good, and just take that counter pose. Good, flushing through the front of that hip. Nice, everybody, lower down. Okay, now we're gonna have fun with full lotus. And again, you can just do cross legs here with that would be with your left leg on top, okay? No, I'm wrong, with your right leg on top. So we keep the left foot in and then we double up with the right leg on top. Okay, so try to really squeeze your thighs in. Take your weight down. Take a breath. And reach your hands back, lift your knees up. And then we're gonna roll over the knees. Bring the hands forward and down. And we're gonna do a little bit of a pranayama practice, but creating a little bit of a draw with our tongues, or you can roll your tongue. This is called Hitali. So sticking your rolled tongue outward, we're going to take a nice deep inhale. And then we're going to lower the hips towards the floor, keep the eyes on the tip of your nose and stick out your tongue. A lion's breath to come down and then reach your arms, pranams, towards the floor. Let yourself offer fully. Let your hips get heavier and melt into the floor. And then we're going to reposition the hands so that they're right under the shoulder heads. Keep the gaze forward and start to go back through the hips. Let the hips take you back towards a forward fold in lotus. Interlock the hands and reach the arms. Wiggle yourself away from your hips. Get your side waist to lengthen as you exhale. And then we slide back with the arms on the inhale. And we go over the right leg as you exhale, reaching the arms long. Come back up. And we go over the left leg. So that's a little bit more of a more difficult stretch to go over the leg that's underneath the top leg. So that's this side. Good. And then inhale, come up. I'm going to do a little arm balance here, trying to keep the legs. Okay, we're going to, again, come up on the knees. Turn the palms to face back. Squeeze the upper arms in and the elbows in towards the sides of your belly, sides of your navel, and then press your navel against the weight of your arms. And let your legs float up. Let your chin go longer and more forward. And then maybe lengthen. And lower down. Come into that up dog with the fingers turned back if you can. And then exhale. And we go back. Turn the fingers forward. We'll find child's pose here. Taking a nice, deep, beautiful breath into the waist. So that whole back waistline expand, fill out, flare out. It's like you're breathing your belly back into your waist. And then slide the chest forward, come into that up dog, and pull the chest through the gate of your upper arms and lift it up, pressing your palms down. And then actively lift up. Let the hips pull you back into that down dog. Even everything out. Nice big breath in. And slow motion exhale out. You open up those shoulders a little bit. We'll do 2 more breaths to let the chest really release towards the floor and the head. Take your time, go slow here. Good, so this time now, we're gonna bend the knees, we're gonna look forward, plant your 2 palms, and we're gonna hop through the arms. The left leg will be straight and the right knee will bend back. Okay, so it's this half Virasana in the right leg. Even out the weight across your hips. And let's take the arms up, inhale, pull through. And then on this exhale, we're gonna fold in towards our left leg, reach long. Go forward, hold on wherever you can reach, and then just develop that smoother breath, wriggling your waistline and your ribs further forward as you breathe out. And we're gonna come up on that inhale to pull through the arms and press down through the legs. Exhale, we turn towards the right leg. So we pull up in the arms. So we lift the gaze, lift the chest, open the chest. And then we exhale, staying in this direction. We're gonna bring the left side of our waist down towards that left leg. Maybe we peek under the right arm. Again, holding anywhere. Use the hands and the arms to turn your chest more towards the left, wrapping the left ribs underneath you. Excuse me. You're preparing to come up, press down into your legs, reach, and come up. Turn forward and bring the hands behind you for the counter pose, counter stretch, opening up the front of the hips. Lift the chest and widen it. Breathe right into the center eye of your chest and then exhale and come down. So repositioning the right leg now into that Marichiyasana leg. try to bring the heel in, and we just hold opposite elbows or opposite arms and just let the spine grow tall as we also start to bring our weight a little bit more forward, planting it more so we have more of a press into that right foot. We have more power to come out. So holding, lifting the chest, bringing the chin down. Breathe out, breathe out. And then your inhale is going to interlock your hands and reach the arms. And your exhale is going to take you forward. Holding anywhere. Use a couple more breaths to create a little bit more length as you pull yourself a little more close to that leg. Sinking into that exhale breath. Good. And then just let go with your right arm. Reach the fingers long. Elongate your whole right side waist. And then turn the thumb underneath you so you rotate that shoulder. Reach back, wrap in front of your right shin. Reach the right hand back and then meet it with your left hand. Maybe you hold your left wrist or your left fingers. And then loosen up your arms a little bit. Let them slide up a bit to lift yourself back up. And turn towards the left, finding your twist. Remember to grow tall on your inhale breath. And go a little deeper into your twist on your exhale breath. Really widen out your left collarbone. Widen out your peripheral vision. Good. And then come forward. You can keep the bind. And we're just going to fold with that bind. Or you can have your hands planted down for a little bit more support if you can't get a full bind and stay in it for this fold. Aim your chin outward. And we'll slowly lift up. Good. And then we're just going to loosen up the arms, bring them back. Press into your right foot, lift your hips, squeeze up, and reach your left toes forward and lower. Let your head lean back. Pick up your chest and breathe in. Breathe out and lower yourself down. Good. So again, we're going to move our left palm a little bit more forward. Reach our right arm up and forward. Stepping into that right foot now. See if you can pick off your hips. Maybe your leg reaches too. Again, your body weight goes forward, bringing a little bit more power into that standing foot. Lift the left leg, raise it up and down, and find your standing split. Just down your right leg as the left leg lifts up. Squeeze it up, use your glutes. Good, lean your chest down your leg. And play with a little balance if you can, and then draw the knee in. Reach the arms forward and start to lower down, slow motion. Yeah. Great job. Okay, and we're just gonna now open out the right leg to the side. Right foot presses against the inner thigh. Reach your right hand back. So lean into it and pick everything up. But really feel like the stretch comes right in the front of your left hip. Breathe across your chest. Make it a little bit more of a back bend. Leaning your head back. And then let's reverse that arc to come down. We'll go to the other side. Plant yourself into your left palm. Lift your right heel up. We're going to stay on the right toes to come into this next variation. You'll recognize this as Wild Thing. Good. Keep a strong press in your left foot. and your right toes. Build more of a back bend and reverse it to come down. Nice, everybody. All right, so now we're going to take the right foot across. Going to a little different version of that twist. We take the left arm and wrap it around the right leg and walk your right fingertips behind you. Make your fingers strong so you can really plug down to lift up and pick up your spine. Turning your chest and your gaze, floating it over your right shoulder. And again, finding the areas of compression in your belly and breathing against that feeling of compression. Building more oxygen into your tissues as you breathe. That beautiful exchange. Good. And then those of you who want to just go a little bit deeper, so we scoop back with the belly. We create a little kind of inverted curve in the low back, just to get the position of the shoulder and the arm to hold your right foot. And then try to straighten up and again turn. Much deeper of a twist. A big slow breath. Squeeze the belly as you turn. Nice. And then come forward. So we keep that cross. So this turns into that figure 4. Lean back into your hands and slide your left heel in. And then we start to compact this pose as much as you can. So you can keep it pretty far apart here and just lean into your palms and lift your chest. And get that good stretch through your hips and your glutes. Otherwise, we're going to really compact it. I'm going to come forward, wrap with the arms and bring your body weight forward to help you from not slipping back or sliding back, okay? Kick your right leg into your arm and also forward into your left leg to hold you there, to hold you forward. Inhale into the chest, walking the shoulders down. Good, and then we're going to turn this into the tiptoe balance. Take your time, step into your left toes. Good, squeeze in with your leg muscles. So you want to wrap your leg muscles tightly around your leg bones. Draw up through the navel and back. Keep your gaze soft. Focus down. Palms down to lift this figure 4 up, straightening the left leg. And fold in. And then we come up, and then options now to turn this into a little bit of a deeper balance with the half lotus leg. Right arm up and maybe behind, so you hold. And maybe the left arm up. Big breath. Squeeze the right inner knee away from your left fingertips. And then start to hinge at the hips, bend the knees to start to come down. Take a fold in. And then loosen, let your right hand go. Loosen up your leg a little bit so you can tap the right knee down to keep the half lotus into that horse face pose. Arms out. Again, bring your weight forward so you don't come out of this and squeeze your legs together. So the right arm goes under for this eagle. Elbows pick up. Inhale. Exhale, we round the back and bring the forearms to the floor. Drop the head. Release the arms. Reposition the leg. And again, we reach on the inside of the left leg with the left arm. Turn and wrap. That internal rotation again. Maybe reach with the right arm so you get a hold And exhale and take a fold over. Folding into yourself. Remember, forward folds are quieting to try to bring yourself into that calm and steady state where nothing else is going on. And then look forward, let your gaze lift you up. Good, use your hands, and then again, we're going to take the left foot straight back, point the toes back. So we come into that Vajrasana on the opposite side. So squeeze the thighs in towards one another, walk the right fingertips behind. And you can either hold the right leg with your left hand, or you can bring the fingertips and kind of catch them underneath the weight of your leg. Good, lift your chest and turn your gaze. Good, so everything's going into this turn towards the right along the spine. Now we're going to do a counter twist of just the cervical spine, just the neck. So you turn from the neck over towards your left shoulder. You lean your ear towards your left shoulder and you open up that beautiful curve, the right side of your neck. Drop your right shoulder even more. Good, open up the skin of your jaw. Good, feel that beautiful stretch even along your cheek. And we're going to slowly come out of it. So we're just going to release the left leg. So we'll lengthen it forward. Good, and you can take a hold to come into the forward fold, or you can just fold forward however. Breathe into your low ribs. Feel them press against your arm if you have a hold of your foot. That's really nice feedback where you're centering that breath, allowing it to feed into the back ribs and the back waist, opening up the threads of all that tissue. And you can keep a hold of the foot now, and we're going to turn this into a Vashisthasana, okay, a side plank. This is my hard side, so a lot of times one side is a lot weaker than the other. I don't know why my left side is a lot weaker than my right. Well, I guess I do know. I'm right-handed. And then slowly lower yourself down. Good. And we're going to take the hands back this time and go to lift everything up into that counter pose. Opening everything up that we just constricted and contracted. Lift the chest. Exhale. Bring it all down. Nice work, everyone. So now we're going to keep the right leg forward. And again, if you're just in a simple cross leg, your left leg is going to go on top. Your left ankle will be on top. We're just going to take the left heel and bring it next to your right heel, over to the right side of your hips. Lift your chest. Take a breath in. Exhale, lean back into your hands. Lift your knees up. Breathe in. And then come forward. We're going to work into Shatali and then lion's breath. Lower the knees, roll over you. Come forward with your chest up. Make that straw with your tongue. Bring the tongue in and then stick your tongue out as you lower yourself down. Gazing at the tip of your nose, and then reach your arms long, head towards the floor. Pranams. Use your palms, but keep your chest kind of scraping the floor to go back into your hips. Let your hips draw you back. Keep your arms outstretched, interlocked. reach long, taking that fold forward. This is long, silky ujjayi breath. And keep the support of your spine through your abdominal cavity. And we're going to inhale, slide the hands back. Exhale, we go left this time. This will be a little bit of an easier stretch over your left leg. That'll be your top leg. This does not want to stay in my ear. I hope the sound is better because I upgraded. I hope anyway. Inhale, come up. And we take this over the right leg now. This is a little bit harder, right? Because this is the leg that's on the bottom. It's a little bit more to get through here, to get into that stretch. So just let yourself ease into it. And slowly slide in. And again, we're going to do that Mayurasana, that peacock pose. Okay, this is a lot of fun. And you can just bring your big toes to touch too. It'll be a little bit easier to lift when your knees are bent. So we're going to pick it up. Walk your fingertips to face behind. Bend your elbows and hug your elbows in towards the sides of your abdomen, and then firm your abdomen like a rock, like a solid wall. And then come down. Inhale, chest up, fingers back. Ooh. Exhale, fingers forward and hips back. Ah, nice job, everybody. All right, so we're going to go optionally into Shirshasana with half lotus or full lotus. So you can either like take a little blanket or have a little bit more maybe of a fold in your mat, fold it back. And see how that works for your head. So we'll do a tripod. Okay, so your two palms are planted, shoulder distance. Let me bring the head towards the floor. Okay, if you have any neck condition, of course, you don't want to do this version or this variation of a tripod headstand because way too much weight goes down through the neck. So just to be on the safe side, you might want to do more of the Shalamba Shirshasana. And then you'll just have the legs in a tuck or straight. Okay, so we'll try out this version of tripod. Okay, pick up the knees and walk them in. Keep your upper arms nice and firm. Use your fingertips. Good. Lift your hips. Activate through the bones. Let that lift your legs up. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze the front of your abdomen towards your spine. And lift up through your tailbone. Let your legs lift. And then option to start your full lotus or half. Take your time. Inhale here. Again, work up through the tailbone. Exhale, we're going to slowly hinge at the hips and let the knees come down to the upper arms. Squeeze into your belly. Inhale, look forward. Slowly pick yourself off the floor so you come into a crow. And then slow it down to come back to that headstand. Keep your belly active so you don't plop down. Lift your legs, lift your toes, lengthen, and then wake up your toes. You're going to land on your toes. Your toes are going to keep your legs lifted. So make your toes really strong and active. And then as they drop down, you're gonna pick up your gaze and lift it forward at the same time. Lengthen out and lower yourself all the way down. Nice work, everyone. Just let your weight down. Turn your head to one side. Lift up, turn your head to the opposite side. Good. You can also work that in a half lotus. It's a little bit easier to pick up and to go back down. And you can, of course, if you do that with half, then you want to at least make sure that you do both sides evenly. And so let's go back into our downward dog. Yeah, just ease everything. So find some symmetry. So after all that asymmetry work we just did, all right, just bring your body back as a whole. So not working with parts, but kind of plugging all the parts in, connecting to source, integration, feeling everything together all at once. Good. And then you can step up or hop through your legs or through your arms with your legs. Draw your feet back. Inhale here. Let's exhale, take a forward fold so you can walk your sit bones back. Just a nice symmetrical forward fold with both legs out. Again, you can have your knees bent or you can have a lot of elevation under your hips for a little bit of a smoother entry into this fold. And then because I want to make this a little bit shorter, probably already a little bit longer than I wanted. But we're just going to end with a virasana. So you can also do a half virasana just to work down into the knees. And just go back. You can go back just onto the forearm, or you can go fully back. And just bringing a length into the front of your hips, reaching the arms back. So you lengthen out front and to the back. Good. And if you're doing one side, you want to pick up and do the opposite side, but I'm going to actually do both together. So if you have no problem in this pose, then you can work this together. And also if you have like just even a folded mat, if this pose is a little bit problematic for you, you can bring a folded mat right behind your kneecaps, as close into your kneecaps, and then kind of use that to mush against all that tissue that might be preventing you, right? So it kind of just increases the space for you to sit down in this pose, right? And then go back again, lengthening the thighs forward as you go back, walk yourself down as much or as little as feels comfortable for you. And this really kind of changes it up a lot. And then notice this is a little bit of a back bend you'll feel. So if that's too much for your low back, you want to squeeze into the legs, pick up your hips and extend your tailbone forward to lower back down, and you might ease into a little bit more space into your low back so you're not jamming in there, you're not compressing too much. And then again, reach your arms back. And this is, if this is any or too much compression in your knees, you want to get out of this. Reach your fingertips back through the fingerprints and then turn the palms to face down so the pinky edges come together. All about the shoulders and the heart. Okay, so breathe in there. On the shoulders, there's a lot of like mental tension that you might want to breathe in and out of. creating space, and noticing where your body meets with resistance. Not a good physical posture for you. You want to invite yourself somewhere else in your body. And if you're meeting resistance mentally, or maybe you can't feel it, remember that off-putted saying, Colleen, is that what you resist persists. You hold attention to what you're feeling, where you're feeling it. When you feel that pull to go away, when you feel that you need to avert, and go somewhere else, and you just stay and be there and see how things change. The cloud, right, just kind of disperses itself as you look at it and watch it long. It changes shape. It disperses into the atmosphere and it becomes just space. You can think of your thoughts and emotions in the same way. Just stay where you are as long as you like. And again, I hope this practice serves you in some way. Like I said, I really like to keep this kind of going in my own practice. So I try to do this every week, at least once a week, and sometimes even more, especially if I'm working out really hard, like muscling through a long hike. And, you know, this is a good way to work your joints in different directions and work also the muscles that provide that movement in different directions. That's what yoga is so great for. So I wish you peace and joy in all of your practices and all of your days ahead. And find time to join me again, everyone. Take a nice deep breath in. Namaste.